Everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm doing my favourite AFL player from each team. So I'm doing 3 or less players from the team, and that's all pretty much. So like, it's our 3 players from each team, or 2 players, or 1 player. It depends. I didn't want to do one of the teams. I didn't want to do pick a player because I didn't like any players, but I chose one in the end, and that was the Gold Coast Suns. So better wait for who that player was. So let's start and get into it. So the Adelaide Crows is Darcy Fogarty. He is going to play he's playing forward line for them, and I reckon he'll get more goals for the Adelaide Crows now that Eddie Betts and Josh Jenkins do not play for them anymore. But even if I put Tex Walker to win the Coleman in my 2020 predictions. So I reckon he'll kick like 20 goals. So he's my favourite player from great forward and marker player. So now Brisbane Lions is Mitch Robertson and Charlie Cameron. Charlie Cameron is more my favourite player than Mitch Robertson. Charlie Cameron's like the speedy forward, small forward bloke. Mitch Robertson, he was a former Carlton player, and I love the Blues, and I like him. He's like pretty good marker. Can't play forward, can't play mid. Wherever you need him, he'll play. Charlie Cameron, just a fast, speedy goal kicker guy. Now Carlton, David Cunningham, Patrick Cripps, and Eddie Betts. David Cunningham is my favourite from the Blues, so he's my favourite player in the whole AFL. Unless someone beats him, but I don't reckon no one. David Cunningham's like a small mid-forward bloke. Eddie Betts is in the forward pockets, you know that. And Patrick Cripps is the number 1 contestant possessions / clearance player in the comp, and he will win a Brownlow. And now the Collingwood Pies is John DeGoey. He's a mid-forward, kind of, and Brody Grundy. And I like John DeGoey more, or Brody Grundy. They're both even. But I can Grundy just only because he can do overhead marks and Jordan DeGoey can't. Grundy can play any position, but defense, I reckon. And Jordan DeGoey can play any position but rock and defense. So that's my Collingwood. Now Essendon is actually pretty hard. I chose out from. Is either going to do 1 player or 2 players, but I chose to do 2. McDonald and Woody is my favourite out of all of them, and Zach Amira is my second favourite. But just like McDonald and Woody kicked the winning goal against North. He's outstanding year, 7 goals against Brisbane. It was just unbelievable. He's an outstanding player. Zach Amira, he's an outstanding player. Or Dylan Shields is going to be in it as well as take out Zach Merrill. But Zach Merrill's, I reckon, just better than Dylan Shields, so that's why he's a favourite. So, Fremantle, I reckon, if you're a Fremantle supporter, these would be your 2 favourite players. Nat Fye won 2 Brownlows. He's an outstanding player. I don't know, like, if there's one word to describe him, fantastic. He's unbelievable player. Michael Walters kicked 2 winning scores this year against Collingwood and Brisbane, so they're my favourite. And now Geelong, I got 3 players: Dangerfield, Grimes, and Ragalia. Ragalia is my favourite. He's an overhead marker. He's a good goal kicker. He's just my favourite player. Pat Dangerfield's good, but like Ragalia is my favourite, and Grimes is good. Grimes and Pat Dangerfield put their goal kicking in stuff. It's kind of like Ragalia goes over to marker from Dangerfield and goal kicking from Grimes. So it's kind of like Ragalia. Ragalia is my favourite, and from Freo is Nafai. It's my favourite. So from Gold Coast, I said I wasn't going to choose anyone, but I did in the end. Ben King got nominated, I think, in round 15 or round 16. Don't know who against, but he did, I think, like 3 goals that game. Has never won a game yet for the Gold Coast because they won all their games in the early rounds. But he's my favourite. If I didn't choose him, I would have put an X next to the Gold Coast logo, but because he is tall forward, unbelievable star. Now the Giants, Stephen Coniglio, I've met him. Phil Davis, I've met him. It's not just by I met them. I met Phil Davis, a nice bloke. He's the nicest bloke AFL player I've ever met. One of the nicest. Stephen Coniglio, he's a class of act. Phil Davis is a key defender. Coniglio didn't play the grand final, but Phil Davis did, but Phil Davis was injured. But they're just great players that I reckon anyone would want them at their club. especially the Gold Coast Suns because they need lots of help. Now, Hawthorn, James Warple, James Sicily, and Rick Anderson. My favourite out of all of them is actually I don't know. They're all even, actually. But James Sicily, I want to be like him when I'm older. He's just one of the best defenders I've ever seen in the AFL. Ricky Anderson can play any position. He's an unbelievable player. And Warpedo, he's an absolute player. He can play forward, mid. Oh, he's unbelievable. Now Melbourne Football Club is Max Gawn. And this was another team, actually, I was going to do. If there was no Max Gawn, I would not chose anyone. So Max Gawn, the big long beard, kick 3 goals against the Roos. It's only his best game for the season. Crap every other game. Well, of course, if you're on a losing side, you could be crap, but that doesn't really matter about that. So Max Gawn's my favourite. There wasn't going to be anyone else but Max Gawn himself. Now, the next team is North Melbourne. North Melbourne have 3 players, Shaun Higgins, Jared Pollock, and Ben Brown. My favourite player before someone from Port Adelaide, Jared Pollock. He was my favourite on Port Adelaide / Dougal Howard was, and Justin Westhoff. But now Jared Pollock is my favourite. I like Shaun Higgins, is a great player to watch, and Ben Brown. They're my 3 favourites from them, and if I only did 2, it would be Jared Pollock and Shaun Higgins. Class of act for all of them. Now, Port Adelaide, Justin Westhoff was my favourite when I was like my first favourite AFL player. Travis Blake has an outstanding career. Got over 250, it was at 200 against Collingwood. That was his milestone. Justin Westhoff, reckon they're all over 200. Outstanding players. Unbelievable. And I just love watching them both play some football. It just makes me feel happy. I don't know why, but it does. Now, Richmond Tigers. Richmond Dusterman. 2 Northern Smiths. 1 Brownlow. I was going to say 2 Brownlows. 1 Brownlow. What else is 1? 2 Flags. I think 2 free best and fairest. 2 best and fairest. 3 best and fairest. Lots and lots of awards, but can play forward, can play mid. I don't know if he can play defense, but yeah, he play forward, play mid. Wherever you need him, he's like a man. Just bring him. Okay, now St Kilda, I put them in the 8 because I think they're going to be an outstanding team, especially if one of my favourite players, Dougal Howard, defence forward bloke that played for Power. Now he doesn't play for St Kilda. Went from Trophy from 2019. Rowan Marshall, I reckon he's better than Brody. I reckon he's second best ruckman in the comp. Or maybe Max Gawn's just better. But he'll be one of the best ruckmans in 5 years' time. He'll be the best ruckman in the comp. Rowan Marshall's one of my favourite. Isaac Heaney, he's my favourite for Sydney. Don't know what position he plays for. I think he plays. Defence or forward or mid. Wherever you need him, he'll play. I reckon he more plays mid-roll now, mid-wing, or forward half-flank. So Isaac Heaney's my favourite. Is out of him, and that's it. Oh, and Tom Patley. Tom Patley is a gun. I forgot to add him. Sorry, but Tom Patley, he is a gun. He's my favourite player, Tom Patley. Sorry. Waterman. Jake Waterman from West Coast Eagles. Youngster. Didn't get to play the grand final, but I reckon in 2020, West Coast when they win the flag, he'll play in it. And he'll win his first grand final. And he's my favourite player. Just key forward. Young. Could he make the best 22 for the Eagles in 2020? Yes, he will. And he's an absolute gun. I love watching him. It's unbelievable. And then the last team, Western Bulldogs. Josh Bruce is my favourite. He was going to be my favourite for St Kilda, actually. But because I like seeing Bruce. If I don't support St Kilda. And Bonaparte, class of outclass every player he versus but Patrick Cripps. Because he's better than him. And now, I reckon that's it for this video. So, out of all of them, Josh Bruce is my favourite player. Now, if everyone in this video, Dave Cunningham was my favourite. And now, my favourite AFL player from each team, that's what the video is called. And so, don't remember that. It's just my opinion. And in the comments below, can you write down what your favourite players are from each team? Only 3 is a max. And yeah, I guess that's really it to wrap this video up. So, bye. Hit a like, hit a sub if you haven't already. Leave a comment below. Cheers. Bye. Bye.